بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Welcome my dear students of Riyadh Salihin Model Schools, the secondary stage, to a new lesson of your Mega Goal 5 Students Book page 30. In today's lesson, my dear students, we have a grammar one, form, meaning and function, present perfect simple tense, and we will know, my students, how to form sentences and how to use the present perfect simple properly. Present perfect simple tense. In this table we have the form and how to make sentences in the present perfect tense. We start with a subject, helping verb, have or has, and we have the main verb here, and it must be in the past participle. You can say I have decided, I have finished, we have lost, we have chosen, she has decided, he has gone, it has lost. Now, my dear students, let's get started and know how to use it and in what situations or what sentences do we use the present perfect tense. We use the present perfect tense to talk about actions that started at an indefinite time in the past. The beginning of a verb or an action isn't mentioned or isn't known. You can here use the present perfect to talk about these actions. It is often used to talk about time from the past to now in person's life. An activity that started in the past and has an effect on the present. Here we have a question and answer. Have you been to Kuwait? Yes, I have been to Kuwait. Yes, I have been to Kuwait. I have visited many places in the Middle East. In this sentence, my dear students, we don't have a definite time in the past. He didn't answer when he visited Kuwait. We also use the present perfect to talk about recently completed actions. Actions that completed that are completed in recent time or not for a long time. Muhammad Abdul Latif Jamil has contributed greatly to the government socialization program in the kingdom. Here we have another use of the present perfect, and it's to emphasize an action that started in the past and has continued until now and may continue in the future. Li Ka-shing has lived in China for all his life, and he is still living in China, and he will continue living in China. This action started in the past, and it is continuing in the present, and it will continue in the future. We have two words and two famous words used with the present perfect tense, and they are time expressions with for and since. We use the present perfect simple tense with for to indicate the duration of the action. The duration here, my students, means how long has the action been or since when the action started. For 2 months, for a year, for a long time. We also use the present perfect simple with since to indicate when the action began, since yesterday, since last June, the time of the beginning of the action. And we have a famous question word here we use with the present perfect, and it's how long. to ask about the duration of an action. Question: how long has the clothing store been in operation? Answer: we can answer in two ways. One with since, using since, the other one with for. It has been in operation since 1975. It's been in operation for 40 years. Time expressions with for and since. Here, my dear students, we have some words used with for, others used with since, and you cannot replace for by since or the or for or since by for. We can say for 2 minutes, for an hour, for 2 hours, for a year, for 3 years, for a month, for 2 months, for a week, for 2 weeks, for a day, for 2 days, for a long time, for ages. Since 5 o'clock, since Monday, since 2010, since 1439, since last month, since last week, since graduation, since the age of 4, since, and a past simple tense sentence, and since yesterday. Here is the use of how long. We use how long for activities that are continuing now or that have just stopped. We often use questions. Question: how long? The answer is for and since, to show the duration or to show the time. How long have you been learning French? I have been learning French for 2 months. Here is another question with how long. How long has the clothing store been in operation? It has been in operation since 1975. It has been in operation for 40 years. Now, my dear students, I would like you to answer this question using for or since. Think of the answer and we'll check the answers together. Hamid has had the same TV for 15 years. I have had my laptop since last June. We have worked on this project for a month. My friends haven't visited me since graduation. We haven't used our car for a long time. I've been drinking tea for years. Tariq has worn glasses since the age of 7. Since when have you had that beautiful watch? Paragraph about Amancio Ortega using the present perfect or simple past tense. Think of the answer and check your answers with me. Worked, became, began, had, has gained. Thank you for joining me, my dear students.